game. Seattle's not really great at stopping the run either, so Arizona is a top 5 rushing team in the NFL right now. So I think that just gives them the edge a little bit in this game, and they're going to win and have an even bigger lead over these teams in the NFC West. But talking about the NFC West here, the last matchup I wanted to get to is the Eagles and the Los Angeles Rams. I think it's a litmus test for both of them, quite honestly, because we got a good test last week where the Eagles defeated the Commanders, and that was a good test to kind of quiet the talk around the Commanders. But I feel like the Commanders also missed some opportunities. So this is really going to be a great test for this Eagles team and their defense overall, because their defense has been playing great. Their cornerback play has been awesome. Quinyon Mitchell playing great. What you get from Darius Slay. They're getting to the quarterback obviously with that pass rush, and it's a good test to go up against Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, Kyron Williams, Sean McVay, and obviously Matthew Stafford, right? The way that they use all of their pieces is going to be a great test for them. And the same thing can go for the other side of the ball, and this time for the Rams, right? Because the Rams have a very young defense, and they're going to go up against Saquon and A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, probably, if he's not out already. So it's going to be a good litmus test for both of them, how they stack up against top NFC teams, in my opinion. So with that being said, I think the Rams get one here over the Philadelphia Eagles, and the Eagles have been one of the hottest teams over the last few weeks in the NFL. But I feel like the only thing I really don't like about the Eagles is that they start games slow, and I think the Rams will be very motivated in this game, and the fact that they could start fast and put up like 14 quick points on the Eagles, I think it could lead the Eagles to kind of get away from the running game, becoming one-dimensional, and then that way they kind of hurt themselves in that regard. So I'm going to go with the Rams. They desperately need this win more than I would say the Eagles do at this point because of their records and the recent run of form. So I'm going to go with the Rams. I think it would make it a lot more interesting if they won as well. So those are all the Week 12 picks that I've gone through, I've predicted, and we'll see how it all turns out on Sunday. But for right now, we're going to get to one more segment before we get to the unanswered questions in the AFC South, and that is we're going to go through the top 5 most disappointing teams, in my opinion, of 2024. I got 5 teams here, obviously, that I haven't been too pleased with. So we're going to go through them, where I'm going to explain why, and we're just going to have a quick conversation about them. So that is all coming up after this break. Don't go anywhere.
For the best and latest podcasts available anywhere, go to the podcast app on your cell phone and type in GSMC to access free content-rich podcasts on health and wellness, book reviews, sports, entertainment, relationships, social media, movies, technology, finance, and even weird news. Subscribe and download the GSMC Podcast Network's family of shows, available everywhere podcasts are found.
Jumping back into the action quickly here on today's show, I wanted to bring a different segment to you guys, just to kind of talk about something else other than just the games coming up, right, and things like that, and have a bit of a discussion or debate if you guys have different opinions than me in this segment, talking about the most disappointing teams, the biggest letdowns so far in 2024 in the NFL. I've got 5 teams here that I think it's hard to argue any other team has been a bigger disappointment, in my opinion, than the 5 teams I have here. So we're going to go through it and just talk about, what went wrong and why, it's got to where it is right now. So at number 5, to start my list, the least most disappointing team of this list has been the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's been another step back, obviously, this year with the 2-9 record, right? It speaks for itself. But last year, coming off of that terrible collapse towards the end of the year, and at one point they were the number 1 seed, right? And for them to not even make the playoffs was pretty incredibly disappointing, right? So coming off of that year and knowing the pressure that you'd face into this year, and the fact that you paid Trevor Lawrence also in the offseason, right? To be at 2-9 right now, and the offense hasn't looked great. The offensive line hasn't looked great. Then you have the defense, which the passing defense is one of the worst in the NFL, and also the running game with Tank Bigsby. You're not really getting too much out of Travis Etienne either. And now Trevor Lawrence is hurt, right? It's been one of those years where you were looking to try and reestablish yourself, but the injuries, just the slow start, and the numerous amounts of mistakes that the Jaguars make, or that they've made this season, has really led them down this bad path. So, it's unfortunate. They're on a bye week right now, and I'm expecting, their own